red button, please. Thank you.
There we are. So I want to bring greetings from my president, Attorney Michael Gamorn, and thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to speak. I'm a big hemp advocate and have been. I live in Monroe County, where we're highly affected by the algae bloom. I don't know if anybody in this area has heard of it, but we are highly impacted by this algae bloom. The beaches that we have, Sterling State Park, the swimming, the beauty, the tourism, it all dies because of this algae bloom. Now, I think this algae bloom impacts much more than just the southeast portion of Michigan. It starts in Lake Huron and flows along all of the rural areas, down along the Thumb, into Lake St. Clair, down into the Detroit River, and finding its way into the western basin. All of that industrial and all of that agricultural runoff finds its way to that western basin and feeds the algae bloom. We found over years of research and practical applications in places like Italy that the hemp plant has remarkable phytoremediation properties. It leaches up a lot of contaminants and heavy metals from the soil, so much that they're using it in Italy after World War II from the destruction of a lot of the steel plants. They're using it in Fukushima to soak up a lot of the radiation left over from the spill. We can use that here to protect our Great Lakes. We can clean up that algae bloom by allowing this to be a buffer crop and by propping up the farmers and supporting the farmers who are wanting to get involved in this new crop, which since I've been here I've heard are numerous. And I can tell you that after we decided to start the Hemp Industries Association last year, we were flooded with interest. There were a lot of people from out of state that wanted to be involved in the new state market. There were a lot of people in state, such as the prior speaker, who were coming from the marijuana world and wanted to be involved in this. And a lot of them had different reasons. My friend Roman, he's really interested in the construction aspects, right? Production of homes from hemp concrete is a carbon reductive process. You know, that's something that we need to help the ozone layer in the atmosphere. Not only does hemp remediate the soil, but one of the things I think gets left out of the remediation conversation often is that it also cleans the water. And being from southeast Michigan, downriver Detroit, that's an issue near and dear to my heart, as well as the people of Flint, Michigan. And to have this opportunity to have such a remarkable crop that we can use to clean the earth, the soil, and the water, and also have the biomass available as a productive and useful commodity is remarkable to me. And I would like to encourage the committee and every legislator across the country, for that matter, to, as I said earlier, prop up, encourage, and support this new hemp industry, because there is a lot more to learn. If we think back over the last few years of all the information and data and research that's come out since we've openly been allowed to do such things with hemp and marijuana, we're learning tons, and every day new stuff is coming out. So with that, I want to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Jesse, for clarification, the hemp that's used in that remediation process, what is done with it afterwards? Is it able to be utilized?
Still, yes, it's still usable in terms of plastics and other petroleum alternatives.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At this time, if someone could help me, if we could just have maybe all of our speakers come to the table. I know we have several representatives that have questions. So, Ron and Jesse, Margo, I'll look them to, of course, yes. If you don't all mind gathering that and whoever feels most comfortable answering the question, I believe we will utilize our time most wisely that way. Representative Johnson, thank you for being so patient.
And thank you, Madam Chair. This subject is near and dear to my heart. However, because I represent people, and there are many people who are watching this that don't have a clue as to what the difference between hemp and cannabis are or is, my question is this. Why are we putting on the table hemp and saying that it's used for fiber, clothes, helps the water, and then on the other hand, we're saying, hey, we have cannabis. I know somebody's thinking it. So then my other question is, are we using hemp to get it regulated so that we can justify our reasons for cannabis?
So there are speakers here that are more scientific in this regard, although I'm a former science teacher. This is not an industry that I spent a great deal of time on, but the understanding with my research is that it lacks or does not have the level of THC that you're speaking to with respect to traditional.
So then why are these two things on the same table? I mean, if hemp is supposed to be for fiber and clothes, why isn't that separated from cannabis?
So we're talking about horticulture, which is within the same family and botany. This derivative has additional uses that are beneficial with respect to textiles, soil remediation, plastics, and a myriad of cosmetics, construction, you name it. So these uses are there. And that's the whole education process. I think that it was important to have speakers here who could speak to this, and the resolution does speak to it as well. And I've received that same feedback. So I understand your concern, and you're lifting it up not just for you, but those who are watching, to understand that, I've gone back even to people of faith, and I won't single them out, to say you have this massive land. This is an issue that we're dealing with. We have soil challenges as lifted up by Jesse in not just the city of Detroit, Flint, and other communities, the algae bloom that he lifted up. It's amazing that this plant allows for soil remediation and still has additional uses for plastics and alternatives to petroleum. So
one last thing, Madam Chair. I noticed that a lot of the conversation that we've had today was more so about the uses when it comes to plastics and fiber and all that, as opposed to puff, puff, pass.